So I wanted to give you guys an update on my journal of stitchery and how it's going. So you saw me kind of finish this and the bulb. I added a little bit of lace down here, a tiny little bit of vintage lace here in here. I cut away the sides. And so at least at this point, I think this page is done. You never know. So I'm going to set that over to the side. The other thing is I started doing my title page, and I'm going to do it all in this thread right here, which is this. I got a big skein of it. I believe I bought this in Australia with you, Rachel and Sarah. I love, this is my favorite color, that moss green. So I'll finish stitching that, but then I will come through here and add some floral elements and things like that. So even though the Journal of Stitchery field notes, my name and the year is all going to be with one thread, I will add a lot of different embellishments there. Now, then there was the next prompt, which is a nest. And so this is the one I'm working on. So I'm still working in here with things, but I have done some felting for the nest itself, and then just stitched down a little bit of different threads, whether it be this linen thread, some wools. Like I said, I did do some felting. And so I'm in the process. Is there a needle there? No. So I'm in the process of finishing embellishing around the nest. I used these little beads here. They're clear. I wish they were colored, but they're okay. They're a little bright for the area, but those to me were kind of an egg shape. And again, I have drawn my line here of uh, the width and length of the book. And so I will be doing some stitching through here, and I may even put a bird up here. I'm still working on that. This is why I haven't made a journal. It's driving me crazy. But I did want to show you guys some happy mail that I got from my beautiful friend, Carol. If you guys remember, it's going to almost make me cry. Carol was with her husband in Montana on an RV trip. And they weren't in Helena, but she had asked Gail, and I'm going to tear this off because oh good, I'm glad you put it on just a sticky note. And yes, this is going to be perfect. But anyway, Carol messaged Gail and said, can I come for lunch and meet you guys? But don't tell Juanette. I want it to be a surprise. And I know I told you guys that all of a sudden I heard Gail say, oh, and here's my friend Carol Powers who just stopped by for lunch. And I jumped up and like whirled around and was like, oh my gosh, I know that name. I know that name. I had never met Carol before, but she drove all the way to meet with us and craft with us. Now, I also told you, and I told Carol, because this is the fabric that I have used. Oh, that's just the interfacing. This is the fabric that I used to print off my pages for my journal. And I knew Carol had sent it to me. look at how beautiful she wrapped it. So I messaged her and I said, Carol, do you have any more of that fabric? Now it's coffee stained. It will get a little bit lighter because I'm going to run it through the washing machine. And so it will be more. See that you hardly see any stains, but I know this is what I used, Carol. I'm almost positive. But if not, but see, look at that's a little bit darker. But anyway, thank you, Carol. I really appreciate it. And let's get on with, I think this video is going to be of my trip to London with my daughter and granddaughter. And we'll go from there. But thanks, Carol. I appreciate it. So here are the three of us, me, my granddaughter, and my daughter at Sky Harbor International Airport in Phoenix, Arizona. And then these are some of the first pictures we took in London at an iconic phone booth. After we eat lunch here, we're going to go to the Victoria and Albert Museum. After we toured the museum, we stopped for a little snack and a drink, and here's my poor granddaughter sound asleep at the table. Now, there's not a picture of it, but at one point I had leaned my head back, and my daughter woke me up saying, Mom, you're snoring. Here we are on the hop on, hop off bus. I may have told you before that I do always like to take the hop on, hop off bus in any city I visit. I think it gives you a good lay of the land. Here is some beautiful neighborhoods in London, and I think you get a little bit more of a taste of what a city may have to offer. On those buses, you can get on and off at various stops, and it gives you a chance to see what is available if you haven't done a lot of research, and you can just see the scenery. It's just absolutely beautiful, some of these neighborhoods. And then there is some still photos coming up of pictures of places that I took while we were on the bus. I hope you enjoy them. Here is the London Eye, which is an observation wheel. If you listen closely, you can hear some bagpipes in the background. And then this is the Palace of Westminster, which is the British Houses of Parliament. And then Big Ben in the background there. Our next stop was the Tower of London, and it was built by William the Conqueror in 1078. The castle was also used as a prison from about 1100 until 1952. Now, of course, one of the most famous people that was held here was Anne Boleyn, the second wife of Henry VIII, and she was executed here on the Tower Green. And then as we went into the courtyard of the tower, we were able to go into one exhibit which had the crown jewels. And then we went to another exhibit and look at this book. Is this book not amazing? I can't remember how old it is. I wish I had taken a picture to remember that by. And then here's a couple of pictures of the royal guards. And then the next picture you're going to see is one that I took on the tower. What do I want to say? Like around the tower. And I really think that picture came out very nice. And then the next picture is of the Tower Bridge. And I'm very pleased with that picture. And then there's a picture of my granddaughter, my daughter, and me. And then a picture of the beefeater gentleman who is in charge of taking care of the ravens at the Tower of London. Next is the famous Tower Ravens. And the story goes,
no, that can't be.
that should the ravens leave the tower, both it and the kingdom will fall. Now, you heard me there in the clip because I didn't know these were real. And then for dinner that night, we went to this restaurant called Niche. I've told you guys before that my daughter has a gluten allergy, and this restaurant was 100% gluten free. That was French onion soup, and that was the only bad thing we ate. It was too sweet. Then that is some warm brie with 100% gluten free bread. Then we had like some chicken fingers, which were really good. We basically just ordered a bunch of appetizers and shared them. And then we shared a tiramisu. And if you don't know about any kind of food allergy, my daughter just can't order a dessert like this here in the United States because she can get extremely ill from eating something with gluten in it. So you can see by the evidence that she really enjoyed that. Then the next day on the 9th, we visited Kensington Palace, which is where Princess Diana lived until her death in 1997. And I remember these pictures vividly. It was said that 60 million flowers were left there. There's a memorial on the walkway there. And then lastly is a statue of Queen Victoria. So we thought this was the famous blue door from the movie Notting Hill, but actually it's not. It's another door. And this is just a beautiful home that's in the area. Then a picture of the three of us. It was raining beautifully. We loved every minute of it. You know, because we hardly get any rain here in Arizona. Now look at this street, how fun it is. So each house is a different color, and then each house has a different colored door. So that's kind of a peachy color with a bright pink, and then a blue house with an orange door. And I'm going to continue to walk. Okay, here we have, sorry, the wiggling. We have a pink house with a purple door. I'm going to keep walking. I'm under an umbrella. There's a yellow house with a blue door. I'm going to continue to walk. Yes, isn't this fascinating? This is in Nottington Hill. And then here's a picture of my granddaughter eating her first real scone with clotted cream, and she absolutely loved it. And then a beautiful picture of my daughter and granddaughter together. And then another picture of the three of us in front of Palace of Westminster. Then a beautiful picture of Big Ben, and then the end is Westminster Abbey. And then tomorrow we go for high tea. So I'm going to end the video here, and I will continue on. I hope you have a great day, and thanks for joining me, and I'll see you guys again soon. Thanks, and bye-bye.